Well, good morning and welcome back to Posh Cat's Cabin. It's the middle of March now, and Bertie is coming up to his 3rd birthday. So this week we've got servicing and MOT to attend to, and we've also got a service that's planned for little Ethel, our little tow car, as well. So going to need deep pockets, I think. But anyway, we're off to Simpsons of Great Yarmouth tomorrow morning, and in the meantime we have to prepare the vehicles, take all the rubbish out of them, and just strip them of all the bits and bobs, really. So we've been doing that. Over the last couple of hours I've taken all of the bedding out, all the soft furnishings, except the main cushions on the seats. Obviously left the mattress in. We've emptied all the cupboards, so in fact I think there's one more cupboard I'm going to do just now, but and we've left the plates in because you can get to the wall in that cupboard to do a damp test. So that's the main reason, to clear all the cupboards and all the stuff from under the bed as well, because I'll show you in a moment, but there is a battery box under the bed that they'll want to get to the leisure batteries. So we've taken all the carpets out, and Sue is just in there with a vacuum cleaner at the moment, just having a little buzz around with the vacuum cleaner, picking up the odd bit of fluff and whatnot in there. So let's step inside and have a quick look at what we've got. Well, I'm inside the motorhome now. We're just finished with a little hand vacuum going around all the nooks and crannies. What happens with some of the carpets, they're all fitted carpets from the manufacturer. What happens with those carpets is they've been in 3 years. They are removable and clip-in carpets, which I've now taken out and given them a good shake and a hoover. But they do, the backing of them seems to decay, and it turns into sort of a flaky, powdery stuff. So especially around a cab area, we found, where you come in with wet feet, the mats round the pedals, or the carpets round the pedals, and where the passengers' feet would go, they tend to get the most wear, and there is quite a bit of powder from the backing of the carpets, which we've now cleared with the vacuum cleaner. I'll show you that in just a second. So all the carpets are gone, cushions and cuddly toys and all of that paraphernalia is gone, and we've emptied all the cupboards. Now some of these wall cupboards here haven't been empty like this for a year, so we tend to do it every year, and the reason for that is that when you go inside of any of these lockers, the habitation checks includes a damp test, and they want to get to the corners and the walls to see if there's any sign of damp or any where the integrity of the sort of structure has been broken down, or where there could be a leak, basically. So all the top boxes here we've cleared, as you can probably see. Now there's one that I haven't emptied, and it's because it's a bit of a pain, really, and it is only the one, and that's the one with glasses and plates, which you can get to the back wall there. You can see what's going on in there without me removing those items. Most of the other cupboards were chock-a-block with books and boxes and all sorts. So we've got the one above here, which contains the solar controller. This is the television aerial outlet with cables going into the various points, and this is the TV aerial that's up on the roof, and you can unlock this. I don't know if you've seen these before, but you can unlock that and push it up and turn it, and you can also change the from horizontal to vertical polarization as well with this little winder here, which is very clever. But in the down position, while you're driving along, you just lock it off there so it doesn't turn or move, and that comes through. And of course the television quite conveniently on this side of the cupboard. Everything else really is left in situ. Going to have to check the fire extinguisher. Fire blanket's fine, but the fire extinguisher, I want to check the date on that, because it's been there a couple of years and it hasn't been touched. Habitation check normally checks all of the windows and the seals around the top windows and side windows. and all the blinds and things like that. It checks gas appliances and electric appliances. Usually you have to ask them about fridge, and they'll check the chemical in the, the gas in the fridge and the freezer, which is all one unit on this van. It does look quite strange with everything bare. But going back to the far end of the van now, obviously the kitchen here, the big under sink cupboards here have been cleared. We've just cleaned them out. It's a real nice feeling to have emptied out. Left a hand towels there, but it's not a problem. It's a nice feeling of emptying the van out, because it does give you a chance to just clear out all the clutter that you accumulate over the course of the year. We found we've got two of some things, that what do you need two of things for? Because you only need one good torch, possibly a spare, but I think we've got about 6 torches. Well, we're not going to take 6 torches out with us during the summer. So under the bed then, we've got the Alder boiler there, and the battery box. Now this, if I just lift the mattress up, you can see there's a big black lid which says battery on the top of it. I'll open that up and show you what's inside. It's just a few thumb screws, so let's get the lid off and I'll show you. Well, here we are. We've got the battery box lid off, and you can see there's 2 leisure batteries in there, Ulanzu batteries. They're both 100 ampere hour batteries, and they match. And when I had these put in 3 years ago, I asked the dealer at the time to make sure that they were matching, and they were both fully charged before they put them on the unit, and they've been there ever since. And I know that when they do the habitation check, they'll be doing a load test on them, just to make sure that they've got a bit more life in them. And clearly they're one of the things that I need to keep an eye on now, at being 3 years old. So coming through the back of the van, we've got the shower. I've left the shower tray mat in there, but it does look quite spacious when it's cleared of all the stuff. I mean, all cupboards are emptied out. One of the things that Sue may have shown you in a previous video is we bought these little rails. You can extend them, and they're on a spring, so that it's literally just a thing that you take out and put in. Here it is, look. And that stops the bottles from falling out if you've been on a drive. Let me just put that in like that, and that stops the bottles and cans of aerosol and deodorant and so on. The top one's got this little bit at the top here, so they didn't tend to fall out, but we found that with that in there, that stopped the bottles from tipping out as soon as you opened this door. It's rather quite good. Now this one here, the cupboard is shaped with the back of the van, as you can see. Here it's curved. It's a little bit dark in here, but because we're right up against the fence, but we've got this curvature here, but you can roll and stack towels up, and we also put our storage of toilet rolls and things in there as well, when we've got some, of course. With the current crisis, they're in short supply, aren't they? But there we are. That's the washroom. There's another cupboard down here which we've cleared. We keep the sort of cleaning fluids and things in there. That's quite a useful little cupboard underneath the sink. Of course, you got the heated towel rail there, and another cupboard just here. Oh, and I've got another one of those rails, look, just there to keep your bottles from falling out. And I think that's where we put some more lotions and potions in there. That's very good. Okay, well, back through it, the change room. All these little drawers are for your smalls. They're on a soft close, and then the wardrobe as well, just here. We're having a bit of a tour, aren't we? While I'm talking to you, I'm checking through to make sure I've emptied everything. That's the wardrobe there, and inside the wardrobe you've got the Alder reservoir. This little thing here has got plastic bags inside of them, carrier bags, and used for, you know, all sorts of things. So again, quite a useful wardrobe, that, with storage underneath as well. This little compartment here is there is space behind there, but that's where the rear wheel is. And if I turn around, you'll see the other wheelers there. Look, behind the Alder boiler, and water pumps just here, and the filter, and just out on the opposite end to where the 12-volt leisure batteries are. And incidentally, just next to the battery box here, which I've just put the cover back on, there is an inspection cover here, which, lift that up, you can see underneath there's the it reveals the freshwater tank. So and that's got a capacity of about 90 litres, and with the boiler on board here, the Alder boiler, that holds another 10 litres or so. That gives us just over 100 litres of fresh water. So we get by with that quite nicely. The grey tank, I understand, is 40 or 45 litres. Somebody said it was 60 litres, but I don't think it's quite as big as that. So let's put the table away. And then here's the table that fits on in the dining room. That lays underneath the bed in storage there. And now you can see the table under the bed in its storage position. That clips in so that it doesn't slide backwards and forwards. Quite bare when we've stripped it of all our personal belongings, but we do like to do that once a year, just to make sure that we're not hoarding. And that keeps the weight of the van down, of course. We've got a payload of nearly 900 kilograms in this motorhome, and there we have it, the bed folded back down into its normal position. So you can see, quite a cleared van. Just secure everything ready for the drive now, and make sure all the little cupboard doors are locked shut. I'll shut the bathroom or the washroom door in just a second, and we're ready to do the journey first thing in the morning. Need to get the van down to Simpsons of Great Yarmouth for 8:30 when the engineers start their shift. And looking down on the outside of the van, there's a wet locker just on the side here, which I normally keep things that you use outside in that locker, like the toilet chemicals and various other things, the hose for filling the freshwater tank and all of that. That cupboard's now empty, and I've just checked little Ethel, and she's ready to go as well. And all the towing equipment is in the boot ready to go. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's a quick tour of the van. Once it's prepared for its annual service, we tend to do that, as I say, just to help us, to help the engineers. It saves them time. They can see what there is to see without all our clutter in the way. And when we come back after the services have all finished, we can start with a clean sheet, and we just put back what we need in the van. And like I said, it's quite amazing what you collect over the course of 12 months. Well, we'll see you on the next video. Until then, it's bye bye for now.